Welcome back to the Floor Chapstick Podcast, where we take potentially good ideas and fuck them all up.
What are you talking about?
Oh, well, welcome back to another episode.
A
Obviously-
video-free episode.
Yeah, you're going to be listening this week because Austin got the camera at home and he had already forgotten a mic cable at home, and I just was like, fuck it, let's get this episode out of the way.
We were
'cause
already an hour late to starting. So.
people got shit to do tonight.
Yeah.
But
Not me, but people.
yeah, me. But
Wow,
let's
you're
get
so important.
first things first. Let's welcome back someone who is in the running for guest of the year, and actually, the guest of the year running. I didn't tell you this, but it started a war between him and Danny and his family.
Oh yeah.
So much to the point where Danny was kicked out of their family group chat for a while. Ladies and gentlemen,
About a
welcome
couple
back,
hours.
Kevin.
What's
Yay,
good?
woo, yeah. What's up,
I'll
buddy?
just
It's
take
been
the same old applause clips that I use like 6 times
Yeah.
since the Christmas episode.
it's been about 4 episodes since we've had you on.
Mm-hmm.
How you been?
Shit, man, I'm just chilling.
Just chilling.
Just
Wow.
That's
chilling.
how we like it.
Yeah.
So, this episode was brought to you by sadness and hatred.
Sadness and depression.
I was just gonna go with hatred. I feel like depression.
So
is a bit too far.
let's fucking jump right into it this week, boys.
First things first. Trump.
Yes, State of the Union. As you know, it's Sunday when you're listening to this or whatever day it is. But Tuesday the 4th, Donald Trump delivered the State of the Union address, which to me felt more like reality TV than a State of the Union address.
Yeah, it was a little bit. It was a bit weird.
The fact that I was a little confused as to the fact why he gave Rush Limbaugh the Presidential Medal of Freedom. That confused me a little bit. And with all like the whole like shout out state he did and everything like that, with all the it was just a little excessive. Like I get that he like did a whole like they did the whole military surprise and thing like that
Yeah.
with like the guy coming home early from deployment and shit. But it was just too over the top. And then at the end, Nancy Pelosi fucking rips up his
it. Yep.
Yeah.
I think she did that though. Because he snubbed her at the beginning with a handshake.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I wouldn't.
But if
No,
you
that's
look at the
definitely why she
video,
did it.
if you look at the video, she's like sticking her hand out as he's turning his back.
yeah,
so like
no,
you can't
he didn't
really.
mean to snub her. I don't think. I mean,
Yeah.
he could have because it wouldn't be a surprise.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I don't think
Also-
it was intentional.
But I think interesting takeaway from it is I feel like more people were talking about her tearing up the pages than what he actually said, like the actual
Right.
Yeah.
contents of
and
the
that's
speech.
and that's the thing
So-
is like no one
Yeah.
fucking you don't hear anybody talking about what happened and
so in a way, that's a baller move 'cause she stole all his fucking attention.
The only thing I remember from the State of the Union address that like I really paid attention to was he said that as long as he's president, he's gonna do whatever he can to protect the Second Amendment, the right to bear arms, and like all the Republicans stood up on that. And then he talked about the Artemis program and how we're going to be the first nation to plant. He wants to be he said we're going to be responsible to have the first man and woman plant the American flag on the moon. The next people that will go to the moon will be a man and a woman from American airspace. Something about the Artemis program. And then one thing he said was they're going to donate. Him and Congress are going to donate $500 million to neonatal research throughout the country, which is a big takeaway for that because that's something fucking cool that he got everyone on that one.
Yeah.
Even Nancy stood up and was like, "Yeah, you know."
Well, I thought it was really like you could see who was on what side just by who stood up after everything he said.
And a lot of the things he said though played to both sides.
Oh yeah, that's
so
but
he was
that's
a
what's
lot of it was
more interesting
bipartisan
about it.
agreements, but most of it was like Republicans standing up. There was a point where like a group of Democratic women in white like were shouting at him and stuff like that. But about a few hours before we started recording, he was actually acquitted on his impeachment trial, which
Yeah.
means he's not going anywhere, which is what a lot of people expected.
I feel like most people expected it.
Almost everyone who's paying attention, at least.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of people say if they brought in witnesses, he wouldn't have been acquitted. But I think
I think
this-
everybody knew they weren't going to bring in
I think-
witnesses.
I think they
think
acquitted
the
him
witness
either
was-
way. I
yeah.
think they would have acquitted him either way.
I don't know.
I think the witness thing was just a Hail Mary that didn't land.
probably.
Yeah.
Well, off of politics because we spent too much time last episode. Fuck that.
Yeah, right. What have you been up to?
Lately, not a whole lot. I mean, once I release the podcast every week, I don't do anything until the podcast. Actually, you were not. I didn't text you a lot the night of, but you did. I did tell you about it.
I want to
Um,
tell this story.
okay, you tell your
both
side,
did-
I'll tell
yeah,
my side.
So
Do you? Let me tell my side for context because I feel like we kind of need context. So I went out with a couple of buddies on Saturday night, right? Saturday night,
Yeah, Saturday.
night, and I wasn't planning on doing anything special. I actually went there to pick up edibles. I'm not even gonna hide it at this point. It's legal. May not be 21, but still, went to go pick up some edibles. And when I was down there, they're like, "Oh yeah, we're gonna be celebrating. I think it was an anniversary or possibly something like that. I can't remember off the top of my head, but they went to a friend's house and they were drinking. They had just a big old. They had one of those 1.75 liter bottles of Crown Apple. So they're drinking
oh
straight
my
out of
god,
the
you
bottle.
didn't
They
tell
had-
me it was that.
Oh, I didn't send you the picture. Oh, I'll flash it on screen. It was.
On
I think it's
screen?
like, yeah, on screen
Oh,
here.
I forgot. Look,
For-
you haven't even all set up.
Yeah,
and
I had it
everything.
set up before I saw the I forgot the camera, but yeah, I had it. What was I saying? Oh yeah, it was like 3/4 of the way full. Most of it being between Elijah and myself. I'm willing to bet.
Oh, you went down there?
Yeah, that's where I get my shit. So here's the picture. That was shared by technically 5 people, but mostly just 2.5.
Oh
Like
my
that,
god.
yeah, that was quite a bit.
Yeah, that's
Um,
pretty much what. That's pretty much what Brendan did when he got back from deployment.
Yeah,
Kamal got him one.
but I didn't
when
plan
Danny was
on
in
it.
town?
Well, no, it was before Danny was in town.
Oh.
It was when because Brendan came back like a week and a half before.
Mm.
So I wasn't planning on drinking. I wasn't planning on doing anything. So I only had a salad for dinner, chicken Caesar salad. That's all I had.
Oh, that's
Um,
the worst thing to have
so
when you drink.
yeah, I know. I didn't think I was going to, so I was like, "Fuck it, it's cool. Yeah, whatever." So then around 10 o'clock hits. They start playing Cards Against Humanity. And, like everybody else is starting to clearly get, they're feeling it now. I may as well join in because I'm gonna be the odd one out. So I start drinking, and every time I would go take a drink, it was a mouthful, swallow, every time. So I did that. I can't even count how many times throughout the night. But we're playing cards, and all of a sudden, I'm sitting in a normal table chair, and when I sit down on the ground, by the time I get from the chair to the ground, I am just like plastered. Like it hit me all at once. I was probably at least
Oof.
6-7 shots in because it was about midnight, so it might have even been more. Because I was drinking most of it for probably about an hour. So finally, we're finishing up cards. We're about to leave, and I go to get up. I can't get up. I had gone to the bathroom once, so between about like that half hour, it hit even harder because I didn't stop. This is the first time I've ever been really drunk because I have a high tolerance because I'm a big boy and I just don't get drunk easily. I have a naturally high tolerance apparently. So I finally get myself up. My friends and I go home, and they start to make pizza. So I'm like, okay, I'll hang out in the kitchen. Sitting on the kitchen counter, and I start sending texts to my friends because I want a log of this. I actually had videos, but I deleted them because I was like, I'm not rewatching these videos because I was that stumbling where you go to take a step and you start falling backwards kind of drunk. So I started sending these texts, and I'll just read them by each one.
I'll
these
read,
are my texts.
Well, I want to read our conversation.
Yeah, no, well, you can read our conversation. I don't care about that.
Yeah.
So this is to a group chat that I had. Guys, I'm drunk, like very drunk. I don't think I've ever been this drunk before. Elijah's kitchen floor is the enemy. Every step is like ice, and my feet are the bellies of the penguins. Hopefully they don't get eaten by seals. I'd miss my feet. We got pizza, and I got our nose rings, Andrew. They kind of hurt, but they work. I had a salad beforehand and nothing else. I should have eaten more. And the typical I love you guys drunk,
Yeah.
bullshit. And then after this nice little thing, 42 minutes later, whomever invented linoleum floors means he castrated and hanged like the cunt that he is. Because I was so pissed off. Every time I was leaning against the kitchen counter and I was wearing shoes still, and my feet kept slipping backwards. I could not stay up. And then every time I would take a step in their living room, I would feel my feet kind of
He's
slip a little
going
bit.
down. They're
Yeah.
yelling timber.
So
You better move.
I wake up
He's a
the
fat
next morning
fuck.
and my buddy says,
Coincidentally, there was a 4.2 magnitude earthquake in Puerto Rico that day.
5.0 actually.
Exactly. See? But my buddy texts me the next morning. He's like, what a roller coaster of fucking emotions these texts are filled with. Just, the floor is the enemy.
I will have my revenge.
Yeah, that happened when I decided to fall down and bust a hole in it. I wish I would have. All right, Nate, go ahead with your part of it.
So Sunday morning, I get a message around 2 o'clock, 2:15 in the morning from Austin. It says, I'm very drunk. And at this point, I'm awake, so I'm having a little bit of a drink myself. And I said, me too. Except I wasn't very drunk. My different drunk, I didn't know how drunk he was.
Oh, I
He
was
said,
super
and I don't know how to feel, but I know that it's weird, and I don't know how to feel. I've never been this drunk before. I said, just relax, dude. Enjoy it. First things first. Are you safe? Not driving? I had a salad beforehand since I wasn't planning on drinking, and I'm sitting at a bud's house waiting for pizza. So yeah, I'm good, but I'm definitely not walking straight. I said, make sure you put all your stuff in one spot and don't move it, because I guarantee you
did.
when you wake up, you're going to wonder where your stuff is, and fuck, man, pizza sounds fucking fire.
Well, what's funny
I
is
said-
when you said that, I had already put everything in my pockets into one of my shoes.
Yeah,
Like,
that's
I knew right
exactly
away.
what I
That's
was
it.
going to say. Put
Yeah.
it in a shoe.
Yep.
I said, LMAO, drunk Austin would be a sight. He said, I've already downed 2 bottles of water in 10-ish minutes to try and compensate, but I know that it won't help.
It helped.
That it won't help.
Yep.
Yeah, dude, relax. Too much water will make you throw up. Just chill on the water and liquor for a bit and relax. Sip water, don't guzzle. Oh, I'm relaxed,
I
but I'm
kept
also
drinking.
very aware that I'm fucked. I haven't drank anything for a bit, but I'm just kind of here. I've had this bottle of water here for a bit, and I can only really move my thumb and eyes.
Yeah.
Do you know how great this content is going to be for this week? I said, do you know how great this content is going to be for this week, right? You're definitely telling this story on the podcast because you don't. If you don't, I damn sure will. He said, LOL, I'll tell it. Not much to tell. I honestly don't remember a lot of specifics to what happened tonight. I do have some video snips to watch in the morning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I deleted them without even looking at them. I refused. Come on.
I said, yeah,
Nasty.
hopefully nobody dies tomorrow morning after we drop the video or nothing big happens before we have another recording, LOL. LOL, we can only hope. How possible is it for me to be able to look at the statistics for the streaming services? I'll check tomorrow morning because honestly, I have no clue. And then I got all sentimental. I said, just be smart and safe tonight, man. I don't want to have to go through the process of finding a new co-host and producer. That's too much work for me. Also, I don't want to have to announce that you died. That would suck. Also, too much work for me. He said, LMAO, I'm crashing at a friend house, so that's not an issue, but I appreciate the sentiment. And then I sent him this video of a 14-year-old kid pulling up to get his hair cut on a lawnmower.
We are currently watching a video.
Link to the video will be posted in the description.
Possibly.
So
yeah.
some current events for this week, boys. Super Bowl 54 just happened.
That was a good game. I
That
enjoyed it.
was fuck the Kansas City Chiefs, but yeah, it was a decent game overall. I mean,
I was on both sides. I was like, I wanted the Niners to win. I was rooting for the Niners, but at the very same time, I love Andy Reid and I love Patrick Mahomes. So, and really everyone on that team I like to some degree. So it was a win-win for me.
Yeah, I got what I wanted to. I just wanted a good game.
Mm-hmm.
Decent commercials. Commercials were mad, though.
Yeah.
I wanted the 49ers to win because I'm spacing on the... What's his
wanted-
fucking name?
I wanted Robbie Gold and Jimmy Garoppolo to get their
Garoppolo.
champs.
I don't know why I just tweaked on his name, but he's a local boy, so I wanted him to win.
oh, there's a case of the coronavirus confirmed in Wisconsin now.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, the
Well,
one.
you see the death toll is like 490 or something like that
yeah,
right now?
but it's really only affecting
China.
like older people
China.
here, and
Oh, fuck.
Chinese.
That's my phone.
They were saying too the way coronavirus is attacking people's bodies. That's very similar to SARS when that had that outbreak in '03 from China.
Really?
There have been so many outbreaks in the past 20 years alone. I'm not concerned.
They
Like, I
also-
have no reason to be concerned at this point.
And also, just like SARS, they connected it to bats
Huh.
originally.
Do you have any hot seat questions for Austin? I mean, for Kevin?
For Austin, tell me, Kevin, do you have any hot seat questions?
Does
Yeah,
anyone
do
have
you
any
know
hot-
what it is? Isn't
Wait, no, we have to do. If we have, you have to. If you have hot seat questions, you gotta let me know so I can do the hot seat intro.
I don't have any hot seat questions.
Can you think of some hot seat questions?
No, but I'm sure you can.
I'm sure I can.
All right, let's go.
All
fuck?
Imagine the Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? When the lights go down, the dun dun dun, and then here's a. And now on the Floor Chapstick Podcast is the return of everyone's favorite segment, the hot seat. Kevin, welcome to this week's episode of this episode's edition of the hot seat. As you know, on the hot seat, we ask you anything goes on the hot seat. So whatever question we ask, you have to answer truthfully, no matter what the consequences may be. Are you ready for this? For this week's?
Jeez. Oh my God.
Sure.
All right. So we'll start off light. What over the last 2 weeks is your biggest complaint about your job? Be specific. And by specific, I mean names.
Oh no, my biggest complaint the past 2 weeks is that I can't play video games while I'm at work. That's my one complaint. Just I don't have the ability or the time to do that.
Okay.
Because if I did, I'd be playing Doom on my Switch in the sound booth.
So,
But that's an unreasonable request. So I don't expect otherwise.
I have pulled out the booklet of go-to hot seat questions. The first one. If you were a sex toy, what would you be and why? A lot of dead air.
I'm thinking, give me a
There's
second.
a lot of choices. You could be, anal beads, a Hitachi,
I wanna be
and lube does not count as a sex toy.
no, I wanna be one of those like clitoral stimulators that they show on like live streams. The ones that connect to the computer and go off every time someone gets tipped.
Like what Stern has for the fucking what are they called?
I don't know. I think they're
Sibians.
called like love senses.
They're
or
called
some shit.
Sibians or something like that.
But
Like
yeah,
they like sit on them or whatever.
Well, I don't know what the fuck they do with
They,
them.
like, straddle
It just vibrates every time they get a tip, and like depending on like how much
Oh,
the
the
tip
little
is,
pink
like
ones?
there's a higher intensity
Oh
one.
yeah,
Yeah,
he's
yeah,
talking.
yeah.
Yeah.
They have
Yeah.
there is a specific name, like the brand name.
Yeah, I
for
think
it.
it's
Love
called a
Sense or some
Sibian.
shit like that.
I don't know.
All right.
That's a good choice.
Next question. Wait, you never said why.
Yeah, why?
Oh, why? Just fuck it. I don't know.
'Cause he gets giddy whenever there's money around him.
All right.
There you go.
If you had to choose a type of cancer to die from, and if you had this type of cancer, what would be the most fucked thing you do knowing that you were dying from cancer? So pick a cancer for you to have. You're dying painfully, and what would be the most fucked thing you do?
What's like the least intrusive cancer?
I don't know. That's for you to decide. But either way, you're dying painfully. So this is the last
Yeah,
thing you
so
do
honest-
this thing, and then
So
after
if
you
it's-
do it, you
if
die.
I'm inevitably dying painfully,
So like
it kinda
no, this
doesn't
is
matter
your
what
like last.
cancer
This
I'd
is your
have.
last action. So like whatever you do, but the thing is, all this cancer you have has led up. You've had this whole painful 40-year experience with this cancer up until this moment, and you finally can't take it anymore, and you fucking snap. So what is the fucked thing that you do?
I'll tell you what I wouldn't do. I wouldn't drive my fucking car through Sears because that's a waste. I'd find someone I really didn't like, and that's whose residence I'd drive my car into.
So you drive a car into someone's house. That's
Preferably at them.
okay. We had
Blaze of glory.
I put that question out on Twitter, and under a burner account I have that you guys don't know about and you will never find because it's a burner account. So good luck
Okay.
trying to find it.
Okay.
I put that question out there, and I got a response to I got a link to a YouTube video, and they said this, and they linked it to a YouTube video, and it was a clip from someone, Andrew Schultz, talking on with Brendan Schaub on his podcast about how they gave his opener a joke about how it's like, oh, I hate when women complain too much, like, stop, you're hurting me, kind of thing. And they were talking about how he was going to give let the guy do the joke on stage, but Andrew Schultz was going to preface it so people knew it was a joke. And the guy went up there, and Andrew Schultz starts talking. And the guy goes, "Nah, I got this." So he goes, "Before I start," and then he tells the joke, and then he goes, "All right, folks, that's my time." So like people think it's fucking serious, and someone said that's the most fucked up thing they would do is tell a rape joke as a black guy on stage.
I thought you were gonna say that you would rape somebody. Just going off the
No.
context, I was
No,
I thought that's
no.
where it was going.
What
I'm
the
like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
No, God, no. No.
That took a dark turn.
Dude, you know how much
Yeah.
it would... Nope, not going to go there.
Oh, wow.
I was going to say, I watched this show Unbelievable, and it made me think, like, even if I was fucked in the head and wanted to do that, like that fucked in the head, look at me, I couldn't fucking overpower somebody. Let alone I can't overpower myself half the time
You
when it
can't
comes
even
to...
handle a stiff wind.
Dude, fuck, dude. Yeah, it's cold as shit. All right. So if you had to choose, would you take a cucumber, a dildo, a fire hose that's not on,
A fire hose that is on.
Yep, sorry, I couldn't read that. Fire hose that is on, a Red Bull can, or a microphone to be shoved up your ass?
Well, either way, something's going up there, so I'd probably have to go with the dildo because that sounds like the only thing that's actually made to go in your ass out of all the choices you gave me. So that seems like the
probably the
least.
softest
Well,
of
it's
that seems
20.
like-
It's
that seems like the
2020, so
least-
really anything can go up your butt if you try hard enough.
That just seems like.
And we here at the Floor Chapstick Podcast are asking you if you're willing to try to put this Red Bull can up your butt. Keep in mind, it is still full of fluid, so you
I
would
will
have to
not
butt
be.
chug. Okay.
Butt chug.
Well,
butt
on that
chug.
note, since Kevin does not want a butt chug, I think we have another guest who's waiting in the wings who might want a butt chug.
Yeah.
On that
Kevin,
note, we're going to
get
ask
the
you to
fuck
get the
out.
fuck out because you won't butt chug. So please leave.
Oh, there he is.
Oh. There goes Kevin. Oh, shit, here he is. Oh, fuck. All right, so you guys have never met this guy before. I actually met this guy a few weeks ago out in, I was doing a desert tour, and it was out in the Mojave, and this guy had this little shack. We were on a hike, and this guy had the little shack, and he was selling big jugs of water out of these old-timey canteens. And we got to talking, and I found out that his name, dude, dope as fuck. His name's Tomahawk Jones, all right?
Okay.
So let me introduce to you guys Tomahawk Jones, and let Tomahawk tell you a little bit about himself. Tomahawk, welcome to the Floor Chapstick Podcast.
Hey, woo.
How's it going?
Good, good.
So breathy.
Yeah, he's from the mountains, so and the desert, so
This air's a
Different
little bit too
altitude.
thick for him.
yeah, this air's a little too thick
Yeah.
Thick.
with 3 C's.
Harsh
So,
on the nostrils. Singes a little bit.
Oh, okay. So
enough.
Tomahawk, tell us a little bit about yourself. What brings you here today? What brought you from the West out to the Midwest?
Well, the winds mostly.
Very a man of mystery. I see.
A man of very few words.
A man of very few words. I like it. So, what exactly is it that you do out of the West? Any specific humanitarian work? What do you do? Like how
Pillaging,
would pillaging,
eating dead animals like a vulture.
taxidermy?
I have a very wide range of skills. I do most of my jobs cash in hand, no questions asked.
What does that entail, though? Does that?
Yeah, like
does
what?
that, like,
give us a
entail-
rundown.
How
This
many-
is
how
a
many
very
people's-
mysterious guest we've
Yeah.
ever had.
Here's your rundown. Cash in hand, no questions asked.
Okay, but I have
Whatever
questions.
the fuck you need, mate. Just cash
How
in
many
hand,
dogs
no
have you
questions
eaten out of
asked.
people's
Wait,
yards?
where are you from? Because it sounded like you were Australian for a second there, and we met in Arizona.
He just turns into an Englishman. He's like, "I I eat shit
Well,
for breakfast.
I don't. I want to make sure that this is the real Tomahawk Jones that I met out in Arizona, and not some imposter from Australia, some Steve Irwin fuck.
Fuck off.
All right, that is a real Tomahawk. So do you know Cherokee Jack?
No. Never
No.
heard of him.
No, he was he trained a guy, FBI agent Michael Scarn once, to save the world from total domination. But that's a different story for a different time. But so what? Back to the job, and what is it like? What was your most recent job? You know, obviously it's cash in hand, no questions asked. So do
Like I
you not
said.
ask the questions, or do they not ask the questions?
Yes.
Yes.
So what was your last job? Was it a job that brought you out here?
Yeah.
Okay, and what was that job?
Mate, if I told you, I'd have to kill you.
My question still stands. How many people's dogs have you eaten out of their yard?
None. Dogs are better than people.
Oh, fair
Huh.
enough. How much would it take for you to hypothetically go and eat the dog that might or might not be within the area? Like, say upstairs.
Well,
I'm willing to pay a hefty sum for that one.
I wouldn't eat the dog, but if dog needs removing, I can help with that.
But I want you
We'll
to eat
talk
it.
off the air about that one. we'll talk off the air.
Can I eat it?
PETA's gonna fucking come after us so goddamn
I
hard.
ain't scared of PETA.
Did you see that PETA posted something about how Bo Peep's hook is still like against promoting animal cruelty? Like, shut the fuck up, you pieces of trash.
You PETAs of trash.
Yeah, well,
So-
they kill shelter animals. So
They also steal dogs off of people's porches and murder them.
So
Yep.
So Tomahawk, I have a few notes here from somebody telling me that you used to ride and tame lions for the Ringling Brothers Circus. Is that true?
No, that's fake news. I used to ride and tame ligers for the Ringling Brothers Circus.
So what's the case scenario? What's the scenario going on with Ringling Brothers? Why'd they shut down then? Because I heard it was animal cruelty. So you a participant in animal cruelty, sir? After coming here and promoting anti-animal abuse? What's going on?
There's no cruelty involved. I asked them if I could ride them. They say yes, and I ride them.
Do you play football?
Purely consensual.
Do you play football, Tomahawk?
Yeah, but I got banned from the NFL because I hurt too many other players.
Did you play cornerback? Because you're doing a lot of backpedaling right now.
No, I played linebacker.
So either way,
Linebackers backpedal, just not as well.
yeah. Oh, it's a good way we're catching him in his horse tracks here, right? Right, Tomahawk. So, what are your opinions on the U.S. government?
Oh no.
All
They
right,
should
well
mind their
said.
fucking business. They should mind their fucking business.
So,
I mean,
so Tomahawk, we had as you were entering, you saw our friend Kevin leave, and he, as you could tell, he seemed pretty confused and pretty
as we are.
as we are right now, but for a different reason. We're gonna ask you a series of questions that we asked him, and before you leave and before we bring Kevin back, but we left the door open so Kevin can just walk on in whenever. But if you were a sex toy, Tomahawk, what would you be? Do you know what a sex toy is, sir? I know you grew up in the desert under a rock and in a cave raised by wolves and lions and all that.
Listen, you ever been to Bangkok?
Yeah.
You ever heard of something called a rip start?
No.
It's where the kind massager puts anal beads up your ass and then rips it the fuck out like you're rip starting a lawnmower.
Oh my God.
So with
That
that
is-
in mind,
Where
I'd
did
be
I sign
anal
up?
beads.
That sounds horrible.
So with that in mind, I'd be anal beads.
So is it true that they have ladyboys out there?
I don't know what the fuck that is.
Okay,
so you better
would
chill
you
the
do you
fuck
know
out,
what a-
buddy.
Would you fuck a tranny if given the opportunity?
So
Say you were single and that wasn't the
so
case.
Tomahawk, moving on with the next question here.
No, I have a question.
I'm not answering that question because I'm not on the hot seat. That would be a question for Tomahawk.
Tomahawk, would you fuck a tranny if given the opportunity?
I don't even know what that is.
Yeah, you forget he's from the desert, dude.
A lady with the penis.
If you had cancer, well, first off, you are a pretty bald man. If you guys are lucky, we don't have video this week because If you guys
Danny
know what a
couldn't
Slim
lie to you.
Jim looks like, that's what Tomahawk Jones looks like. It's like a Slim Jim, like fuck the couch, okay?
And let me say, I want to snap into a Slim Jim.
Austin will snap into anything that will let him. If it's wide enough for us, if it's, you see a baby carrot, if it's wider than that, or he'll make it fit.
You would want it to be narrow. If it's wider, then you're just not going to get any sort of like
Yeah.
feeling
If
to
it's
it. You want it to
narrower
be-
than that, he'll make it fit, and if it's wider, well, he'll just tape some grapes to it, and he'll make it fit.
Yeah.
Yeah, he'll do anything. So if you were a Cancer and you had to do one last thing, what would you
If
do?
you were a Cancer.
Well, I've already saved the planet numerous times. I've been to multiple dimensions. So I guess if I had some sort of cancer, the last thing I would do is die peacefully under the sunrise.
That wasn't the question. I asked you what would the last fucked up thing you would do is.
Probably eat about 8 Big Macs.
I don't really think that's that fucked
All
up,
right,
but
all
I mean,
right.
can
And
we get
last-
Kevin back?
Last but not least, will you put this Red Bull can full of liquid up your ass?
Absolutely not.
All right, get
Oh,
Kevin.
well,
the
you
fuck
know what?
back
Get
in
the fuck
here.
out of here.
One of these
Kevin!
one of these days, man. Kevin's back.
Oh, there we go.
All right,
Hey,
what's
Kevin.
up, buddy? Dude, he wouldn't put the Red Bull can up his ass either.
Man,
One of these days,
fucking
man.
loser.
Yeah,
One
so
of these
fuck
days,
off.
this Red Bull can's been sitting here on the desk. Not on the desk, because if you're a visual, this Red Bull can's been sitting off in the studio, waiting for some. We've been trying to get someone to put it up their ass since episode 2. We're 22 episodes in, and no one's put it up their ass yet. One of these days,
And
someone
what's
will put
even
it
more
up their
fucked up
ass.
is we didn't have our first guest until episode 7, so we just kept going back and forth
Right.
for 5 weeks.
Yeah, exactly, man. And I mean, I'm not putting anything up my ass.
Yeah. The thing is that
You know-
what made it worse is that every guest we didn't have video, so it made no sense for them to put
I
it
don't.
up their
I
ass.
don't think
Right.
you. I don't think you made that offer to Danny because Danny would definitely put that Red Bull can up his ass.
Let's find out. Actually, we can do that.
Let's see.
Let's find out.
Let's pad for time. Let's pad for time. We're getting Nate to call our guy.
Hello.
Hello, sir.
Good evening.
Good evening. So we have our friend Kevin here, as you know, and earlier we also had our friend Tomahawk Jones on as well, who you've never met, and both of them declined to put up the yellow Red Bull can up their ass, and Kevin brought up a point that we forgot to ask you when you were here. Now, when you come back, will you put this yellow Red Bull can full of Red Bull up your asshole and butt chug it?
Of course, dude.
All right,
Hell yeah.
thank you.
Told you. I called it.
There
All
we
right,
go.
well, we will talk to you later.
We have
Do you
this
have
on
anything to say?
file.
Tomahawk Jones and Kevin are bitches for not but chugging a Red Bull.
Fuck. Called you out.
Tomahawk Jones can bench 400. He'll rip you apart, mate.
Yeah,
You can
but
bench
can't butt chug a
400,
Red
but
Bull, so I ain't scared.
What did you say?
I said he can't butt chug a Red Bull, so I ain't scared.
Well, at least Danny said nothing racist today, so
This time.
I usually don't. I, like, never
he's
do.
lying.
No,
He's
what a
lying.
lie.
You
You,
racist.
you didn't even have to see
Danny's
how much I
part-
had to
Danny's
edit out
part
from the
of
Christmas
SS
episode.
NSM, yeah, there was like 4 hours of recording, you guys, and we had to edit out like
Wait,
2.5
did
hours
you
of
just
Danny.
say I'm a part of the Nationalist Socialist Movement?
What, are you denying it?
Yes.
He's lying.
All
Full
right.
on
Time to-
lying. We'll
time
see
to
you later,
hang
you
up.
racist.
Bye.
Goodbye, racist.
Oh, what a
What a
clusterfuck.
liar. What a racist.
That's not even
man.
the worst group he's a part of. He's also Antifa.
He's also Nambla.
Really? I heard he is part of the Knights of the Ku Klux Klan and he's a Grand Dragon.
Is that what that's called? I thought it was a Grand Wizard.
No, Grand Wizard is the state level. Sorry, he's an Imperial Dragon, which is he's the national leader of his Knight clan.
Got it.
Yeah. They're called the Knight.
That's
the
what they're actually called.
Knights. Yeah, they're called the Knights of the Ku Klux Klan now, and then they're separate factions. So if you have like different chapters of like, let's say you created a Knights of the Ku Klux Klan chapter, and you had different members in like different states, and they had like their own version
Who's
of
the
the chapter.
dipshit that named these ranks? That's just what I want to know.
Dude, there's dragons, nighthawks, wizards, Imperials. Like it's fucking insane.
Were they all 12 when they made it?
It's from like the 1800s. The Ku Klux Klan has been around for like 200 years, dude.
Well, yeah, but when
And there's a difference between
Nighthawks,
cross
dragons,
burnings.
wizards, like, bro, it sounds like they were made by like 12-year-old
Exactly,
D&D players.
dude. It's insane. Fucking racism is
Not
crazy.
saying anything about D&D.
But yeah, Danny is, he's racist, and I'm going in to Vegas in March to teach him a little lesson about racism.
an intervention.
We're gonna go to a UFC event, and he's gonna watch people fight for a living, and it's gonna be I'm gonna have to tape his mouth shut so he doesn't yell obscenities at people. Because he's never been outside of a neighborhood that has Caucasian people. You ever seen American History X? That's basically
Yes, I
Danny's
love that
life.
movie.
Yeah, Danny is
That's a
American
great
History
movie.
X. And
Okay, can we get off the racism?
yeah, I'm driving that shit home so
All right.
bad.
So this is something that
He's not racist, obviously. It's a fucking bit.
So something I wanted to bring up because I just noticed it recently. This is completely off topic from everything we've touched on.
So is
good
90% of the
reason.
things we talk about.
True.
We have no track here.
Yeah.
I've just been rambling for almost an hour.
So you guys know the band Pearl Jam, correct?
Hit him right in the titty.
Jesus, this is a war zone now.
Your mom's a war zone.
You know the band Pearl Jam, correct?
Yeah.
You know the band Pearl Jam?
Yes.
So
I know
was
the band Clear Jam as well. Clear Jelly as well.
fuck off. I was thinking about their music, and I'm like, I think when I listen to their music, I think they only have their one album, 10, that is great. Every single song on that album is great. And I'm thinking about it. I told my dad, I think they only have like 6 good songs outside of that album.
Yeah.
So I listened to their discography. It was exactly 6. There are only 6 songs that I can sit down and listen to from Pearl Jam outside of 10. I never realized how much their other shit is not that good.
Have you listened to Music to Be Murdered By?
I was very disappointed by it.
I
was
wasn't.
super. All of the features completely took me out of the song.
I like the first Royce to 5'9" feature. I like Darkness. That's a good one. The one where it raps about the Vegas shooting is fucked up, dude. It's so
Which one
fucked.
was that? What was the title of that one?
Darkness.
I mean, I might. I
Oh
don't
wait,
remember.
no, is it Darkness? It's
could be.
I don't fucking know. I'll tell you off the air.
Yeah, either way, we'll figure it out. But I was very. I listened to the whole album, and I'm just like, not a fan.
You know what I'm not excited for is the weekend that all right. So the day this episode comes out, I'm excited for because I won't be working because it's my 3-year anniversary.
Mm-hmm.
And you know how I was gonna go, Kevin. You know how I requested the weekend off because I was gonna go on my trip.
Yeah.
So I canceled that trip, and I'm just gonna work that Friday, Saturday. But this is gonna give me so much fucking hate if I drop the comic's name.
Do it.
But he's known for joke stealing. I don't know if he has actually done it, but all the evidence I've seen is that he has, and he interviews of him saying Marlos Cancia is his name. I'm not gonna drop the full name because Carlos Mencia is not appropriate to say on the air. Oops.
Oopsies.
But yeah, I'm not excited about that, dude. Not at all. Because it's like I feel like it's like working for Lex Luthor.
Wow.
I feel like a minion. I'm gonna feel like a minion working for Gru, like joke stealer, cunt.
Hail Hydra.
Yeah, for real.
Really.
Hail Mencia looking ass, like.
This episode is just off the rails at this point. You know what the problem is too without having video? Nice, good job. Is that for one, when it comes to editing, I'm gonna have a lot less to work off of. But also, it's so easy to get distracted when you're not on camera. You know?
Yeah.
You can just look at your phone and get caught up and not realize, hey, we're still doing shit.
Hey,
There-
I haven't been on my phone barely at all this episode. Though.
most of the time I haven't been, but I've also just been sitting here just kind of like, yeah, you guys are talking. You guys
We've
are
got
having
a new little outro thing that Austin and I do as well. It's a little tag for the outro you'll see at the end, but it's kind of like it's got to be like natural though. It can't be forced.
Yeah.
Because I was just thinking about it.
Which,
like if it's forced,
Speaking of natural, say seg.
seg.
Way, what a great segue into today's sponsored segment.
Which is,
Anchor. Hopefully.
are we gonna talk about it?
No, well, it's gonna be the.
Oh, okay. Here,
the
3, 2, 1.
playthrough.
Here.
Ooh, ooh. Okay.
All right, and that was a word from our sponsor.
Whoa.
One of these days that there's going to be an ad read where you're going to listen to this, and it's going to be like, this podcast is brought to you by Insert Company Here. Insert Company Here does insert item here. And insert item here provides insert
Service here.
insert service here. I wanted to say the word provocation, but I don't know what that word means. If that's even a
Sponsored by
word.
something, shadow something.
I would love if I would love if
Oh,
we could
this
get our
podcast
Anchor-
actually does have another sponsor.
Does it?
Yes.
You guys
Us.
should. You guys should
Oh,
jump on
yeah.
the.
Yes,
You guys should jump
um,
on the Raid Shadow Legends sponsorship.
If they
thing.
if they contact us, I would. I would love to do a Raid Shadow Legends
Yeah.
ad read.
Same.
I'm pretty sure they give it to everyone, so you guys might be able to contact them because I see
So-
so many YouTubers with it.
So for those of you who don't know,
Usually they get more than 20 views a video.
I actually got the approval from my lawyer to officially be known as where we are. I have to decide if we're FCP LLC or Floor Chapstick Productions LLC, and I'm thinking Floor Chapstick Productions.
Yeah.
So I got the approval from the Chapstick Corporation. I got the approval from the lawyer. I got the approval from the FCC. We are good to go. So now, as of this recording, this podcast is also I'm gonna pick the name right now. This podcast is also sponsored by Floor Chapstick Productions. President Nathaniel Finlay, co-president and co-CEO Austin Gonka, who helped
Hell yeah.
build this up from the ground. We don't have an accountant or a marketer yet like that. Or
Well, no, we do have our accountant. Remember, we have Andrew. You don't remember that from our episode? Remember? I was like,
yes,
yeah.
yes. We do have an accountant. Yes.
Yeah, we got our boy Andrew.
Yes.
So yeah, we got
so-
everything going.
You're right.
Hell
Well,
yeah.
on that note, do you have anything to?
I mean, we're only at 40 minutes.
We're at 40 minutes.
We're at 40 minutes.
Oh my God.
We got Phil
Oh
20.
Jesus criminy. Oh.
All right, you know what? How about this? Let's see if I got a thing to talk about. Let's podcast checklist. Let's see what we got. That's the wrong checklist. Podcast topics. What up? Okay. Hello. Fuck. Guilty pleasure. What's your guilty pleasure song?
I know mine.
All right, Nate, go ahead. While
Ants
Kevin's
Marching
thinking.
by the Dave Matthews Band.
Really?
Yeah, I fucking love that song, dude.
Why would you consider it a guilty pleasure though?
Because everyone hates Dave Matthews.
That is true. That is very true.
I would say "Toxic" by Britney Spears.
That is a great song. That is so good. You know what? That's a great choice. That is a good song. I like that song a lot.
like Hollaback Girl.
Yeah, I was actually gonna say
Yeah.
Hollaback Girl. That is, I love that song too. I mean, you could always. The one that I usually get shit on for
Whoa.
is "Wake Me Up Before You Go Go." I love that song.
Oh, I thought you
I thought you were gonna say
that one Evanescence song.
Oh,
Hey,
fuck
that's
that!
That's a
hate
good
that
song.
I
Fuck you
hate that
guys.
song.
That's so good.
That is trash.
up.
Wake me up inside.
Can't wake up.
Save me.
Welcome to Hot Topic.
All right. So this is something like if you could take one thing about your life, it could be anything. What would you change? Just any small thing, big thing, whatever.
My bank account.
Fair enough. I actually just got my tax return today. Oh man, I'm so happy. Makes me feel not as poor.
Yeah, I would change my bank account so I'd load that bitch up so I could just be like, oh, I want to fly somewhere. All right, bet I'll be back next week. Like I'll be gone for a few days, and then
Fair
just
enough.
My bank account and my max bench.
Jesus Christ. I would change my ability to not get injured. Like I get injured every single time I do something. It's been better lately, but god damn, it feels when I first started playing
He
hockey
needs
again,
some milk.
seriously. When I first started playing hockey again, which god it is I've gotten it's the best now. But it felt like every time I would go out there, I would hurt my knee, which I've injured before, or my hip, which on the opposite foot or on the opposite leg because I would be compensating.
Yeah.
So I finally just recently was able to, go the past 3 weeks. I'm going again. Actually, it's been a month. Every Monday for a month, I've been going out, and I haven't had to, stop because of being hurt once. Except for I got hit in the head 3 times last Monday.
I forgot I had to do something tonight at 7:15. But it's okay. I can be a little late. I just gotta leave by like 7:10. But Kevin, why do your sunglasses look like they're women's?
They do kind of look like women's sunglasses.
My wife's son.
they're
My
not.
wife's son. My wife's son. I don't think Austin gets that joke.
No, you've
Yeah,
told you've
no.
explained it before.
Have I?
Yes.
What did
I think the last time he was on the show after the show or
Yeah,
before the
because
show.
we yelled it at Danny. I think.
Yeah.
during the Christmas episode?
I think so.
And then
Yeah.
I think even I might be crazy,
If
but
not,
the
I
first
know
time
we
he was on the
definitely
show,
did
period.
it like off air.
No, it wasn't the first
know
time
we
he was
definitely
on
did
the-
an off-air,
No,
too.
because Danny was only here around Christmas time.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. But
Yeah,
no,
we
I
do
know
it
you've
off
done
air
it
all
a
the
couple
time.
times.
Yeah.
So.
Dude, I fucking love. That's the best way to call someone a cuck is my wife's son.
Dude, I love it when my wife's boyfriend takes us out for ice cream. It's so good. Sometimes he lets me get sprinkles on top too. Oh, he's a sweetheart. Let me tell you.
And when him and my wife wrestle, I play Fortnite with his son.
Nice. How many victory royales do you guys get?
All of them.
Oh,
How many victory royales does he get?
all of them.
First place.
Carries.
Quickest victory.
30 seconds, new record.
12 seconds.
Speed run champs.
Yeah, right. One and done.
Oof, that hits too close to home. Self-deprecation.
You know
is,
what hits too close to home? It's when someone drives their car through your living room.
Or
That
your
hits too close
Sears.
to home. Yeah, or Sears. Dude, I shit you not. All right, so I was down at the mall today. And, like, you guys know the kind of car I drive. It's a piece of shit, right?
Yeah.
But it's also a fucking boat. And you know how you're driving past Sears, the road there is kind of bumpy? So you're like, da-dung, da-dung. And all three of us kind of drive, like, shitty pieces of shit cars. Like, basically boats. Like, you drive the Escalade in your truck, and basically boats.
The Escalade's
You
not-
drive.
Oh, boat,
you
yeah.
basically drive the Chevy version of my car, in a way.
Kinda.
I mean, basically, the fucking with the how heavy the car is and the engine and shit. I mean, except yours is a V6.
Yeah, I got a V6
Mine's a
though.
V8.
the same. V8 gang. Yeah. Turkey. But what was I saying? Oh yeah, so I was fucking driving past the Pac-Man arcade, like past the Sears entrance, and there was these two fucking teens, and I'm like revving around the corner, dude. And I shit you not, these teens are walking across the parking lot, and they looked at me, dude, like, oh fuck, this guy's about to run through Sears. And I looked at him like, I'm not doing anything. I'm going. I pointed at Sears, and I was like, and I pointed at me, and then the fucking parking garage. I was like, I was like, I'm going to the parking garage. Don't worry. I'm not gonna run through Sears.
You know, this is again off topic like usual.
If I was gonna run through a fucking store, it'd be Macy's.
Yeah, I would.
Cause you get mobbed with fucking perfume in that bitch, dude.
Just destroy all the bottles. Just get rid of them. I think people would thank you for that actually.
Dude, I wonder how. Oh no, I'm
No,
not gonna
I
say
drive
that.
through Lord and Taylor.
The fucking police are gonna come after us. Dude, one time I took my friends and I were hanging out at the mall, and I literally took them through the catacombs that we walk for like work and shit, and then we even explored more. And I was like, this is my job. And like the back door was open. They were obviously doing deliveries and shit. I was like, this is the showroom door was open, and the back door.
When
to the
was it? It
kitchen-
might have been me actually.
It was on like a Tuesday.
Oh yeah, not me then.
So like I was like, this is the showroom, this is the kitchen, this is the elevator, the service, this is the other garbage that we go to, this is the Lord and Taylor, the third garbage we go to, this is everything else.
Hey.
Fuck you, Austin. There's a lot of shit that we did, and they were like scared as fuck the entire time. They're like, "You sure this is legal?" I was like, "Yeah, dude, it's my fucking job."
So real quick, since you got distracted by a text, have you ever looked through your notes and not understand what the fuck you meant by what you typed down?
Oh yeah, dude. I look through my sets. I write down some of the new bits I'm writing. Oh, I've got a new bit I wrote. I don't know if you guys saw on Twitter this morning, but I put out a new bit out there. I thought of this morning when I was wiping my butt. And you know, I was thinking because we cancel a lot of things. You know, the cancel culture is big now,
Yeah.
and I think it's the stupidest fucking thing in the world. But if you're gonna cancel one thing, for the love of God, let it be one-ply toilet paper. Because I'm sick and tired of sticking my finger up my ass when I wipe my fucking butt. Like
I've
it
never
just
had that problem.
you've never wiped your ass and your finger's been like boop.
Not when it's solid shit and I have one ply.
What's a solid shit, dude?
When you're what a normal shit. When I'm saying I'm talking there's
I haven't
watery
had-
shits and there's regular shits.
I haven't had a solid poop since I was like in 8th grade, dude.
Well, that sounds like a you problem.
Yeah, you need to.
Because
need
the
to see
last
that.
solid
That's not normal, dude. People
Dude,
used to
I'll
die
go
of
like
that shit
3 or
in the
4 days. I'll
1800s.
go like 3 or 4 hours without pooping, and then I'll poop ridiculously long, and then I'll go like 4 or 5 hours without shitting, and I'll just shit like in continuous stream for like 45 minutes.
Yeah, that's not healthy.
Just ask Kevin. I spend like 15, 20 minutes at work a day collectively in the bathroom taking a shit.
Oh, I spend a lot of time in the bathroom
It
taking a
drives some
poop,
of our
mainly because I
coworkers
don't want to
crazy.
be
He's
out
like,
on the
is he
sales
taking
floor.
another shit?
yeah, dude.
But
Dude,
the-
at least
the-
I don't poop every 20 minutes like clockwork like Patrick does with his coffee.
sometimes
I gotta
do.
poop. I'll be on channel 2 if you need me.
Here, but real quick, this just
Speaking
brought
of
up.
Pat,
Yeah,
why don't
wanna
you come on the
fuck off?
episode, you bitch?
My
Yeah, you say
laptop.
that on the mic like he watches this show.
Yeah, right. We talk as
that'll
if
be cut
anybody
out.
listens to this show.
Hey, we have a 2 reviews on Apple Podcasts.
Is that right?
Yeah, 2 5 stars. One of them is from me,
Wow.
but I don't know who the other one is from.
Very nice.
We should
I think I know who it's from.
we should start reading 5-star reviews.
No, it's just no like
Oh,
words.
no.
It's just
Oh.
like yeah.
Well, anyone who's listening, give us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts and give
Or
us a
whatever
tasty
star
little
you
comment.
think. We don't have to.
Sure,
yeah.
but we're only gonna read the 5 stars because
no.
fuck
I'm
you.
gonna read them all, and I'm gonna.
No, we're
reply
gonna
to
read
some.
them, but we're definitely not gonna read them on the show. If you want it read on the show, you can talk shit about us all you want. Just give us 5 stars.
well, that'll be a segment. That'll be shit talking.
Yeah.
That'll be the shit segment.
So this is the only reason I brought up that point is I don't know what this meant. I think I was like, I mean, this is at 9:00 in the morning. Last time it was edited back in October. It says fortune does not outweigh misfortune, and I think I heard that somewhere or something because that doesn't sound like something I would write.
That's some Confucianism shit.
Yeah, I don't know what the fuck that means, but I like it. I'm not gonna get rid of it. But then on the same little note, self-awareness is not an excuse. Just because you call yourself a thought doesn't mean it's cute or okay to be a thought. And I understand that one, and I fully agree. I hate that shit where it's like, especially on TikTok, it's like, oh, I'm a TikTok thought. Yeah, doesn't mean that it's okay to flaunt and be, Did you just rate us 5 stars? Is that what just happened? Is that what your shit-eating grin is about?
No, my shit eating grin is about the review I wrote.
Okay, good.
Oh my god.
That- well,
all right, let's go.
Either so you'll pull that up, Nate, and I'll talk about it. That whole like
I
oh
went to
I'm a
the App
thought
Store, it said the
culture or like
Apple
e-boy whatever, like being a slut or whatever. Or in their case,
Careful
they
what
call
you
it-
say.
They call themselves thoughts, so they're I don't care.
Careful. Be
Eat my ass.
careful. Be
Um,
careful.
Just the fact that you call yourself that doesn't mean it's okay for you to like still act that way. It's like I said,
I don't see
self-awareness
any
is not
reviews here.
it
It
might
just
take a
says
while. For,
2 ratings.
Well, I just posted it.
Yeah,
so
it'll
there's
probably
that.
take a while to pop up. Either way, it just bugs me. Like, fuck off with the whole. I'm a TikTok thought. You should be okay with me being a whore. Fuck that. I hate it. It bugs the fuck out of me. Kevin, what are your thoughts on thoughts?
Penny for your thoughts on thoughts?
Hey, man,
Hey man.
people can do what they want.
Oh, trust me, they can do whatever they want. I'm fine with them being thoughts. Just don't make it like, oh, it's okay for me to act like this because
my
I
favorite
call
episode
myself that.
My favorite episode of Cops I've ever seen is this one guy. He's like getting arrested for like chasing his neighbors with a knife, and he's getting put in the police car, and he's like, "Goodbye, vatos." He's like, "Who's gonna get my mail? I need somebody to get my mail. Goodbye, vatos."
Jesus Christ. Let me see. Do I have any other good?
I can't find it.
It's probably not going to pop because I think every review needs to be reviewed by Apple beforehand, which they won't get rid of it, but still.
Yeah, they might.
Well, I can't think.
What
of
did you say?
anything. Yeah, what did you say? Just so we have context, so that we can have it, and then we'll end the episode on that note. Or I can read it if you
Gimme,
want. Just pull
gimme,
it up.
gimme, 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 gimme,
So
gimme.
Alright.
loud.
So
I'm just trying to kill the dead air, dude. Fuck you guys, man.
I can
Like,
cut out
someone-
dead air. Do you realize that?
Oh yeah, that's true. I forgot.
Jiminy Cricket.
That we're not live.
Especially with no video, I can easily cut it out.
all right. So
I
the
forgot.
subject I said floor chapstick cured my ligma, and then the actual like body paragraph I just wrote Sugandhis.
Oh my god. Well, that was episode
God.
24 of the Floor Chapstick podcast. Thanks for sticking around if you listened the whole way through, and we will
Sugma.
see you guys next week.
Oh God damn it.